Hey, so I wrote something recently that I want to share with you. It was a visitation I received where approached a stone large gate called Oblivion that um, the Watchers, the 200 Watchers, are actually imprisoned behind. And I wrote this encounter out. I've had it some years ago, and I wanted to share it with you because um, I want you to understand the layers of the spiritual realm. And I also want to kind of illuminate two verses that we kind of read all the time and maybe give you some light on what they actually mean. So enjoy. Shadow and dark flames burn before a massive gate. The fires did not warm the air, and the light did not shine. This gate was unholy. The gate, carved from stone, opens like a double door. Cloaks of shadow covered it, and the fires burned at the base of the gate. However, there was no wall connected to the door. It led into another dimension behind it. The sky was an empty void. Nothing. It was nothing. Just dark emptiness. How could I describe nothing? I have only seen it a few times. My first was behind God. It is where he puts the memory of sin, forgetting or remembering not our sin. He throws it away into nothing. I felt this as I looked into the empty void around me. Nothing, just deep darkness. I felt no wind. There was no smell, just a sound of dreadful nothing, a silence that did not give peace, just dread. My eyes came back to the stone gate when two heavenly flames materialized before me. These fires were gentle and finally gave light as a fire should. I placed my hands into the large burning torches of fire when a hand held mine firmly from within the flames. The flames gave shape to two mighty, powerful angels. These angels carried the fires of heaven in their robes, hair, and eyes. Lightning flowed through them. Their wings blazed with glory and pushed back the feeling of emptiness, the nothingness in me. These angels were the identical and masculine twins, brothers and watchers of the gate. But what was behind this gate? One angel lowered himself to me humbly with kindness radiating behind his burning eyes. Micah, those that are bound behind the gate await judgment. The watchers who fell into sin now wait in an abyss of nothing. Bound forever, we stand by the gate keeping watch. There are spiritual beings who would fight for their release. His large hands touched my shoulders, and my inner turmoil left. His words gave me confidence. He said, those behind this gate, the fathers of demons, will never see light again until judgment. So you might be wondering, how did I experience that? Was that a dream? Was that a imagination thing in my head? No, that was a real physical encounter, just as real as you and me. And those angels were real. That stone gate was very real. The emptiness, the darkness was very real. It was a real encounter that changed the way I view demons and fallen angels. And, the book of Enoch. Actually, I searched the book of Enoch after that encounter because someone had told me about it. And I was like, I don't know about this book of Enoch, but I started having experiences that illuminated that book. And so I decided to read it for myself. And so after that encounter, I started to research and read the book of Enoch. And I'm very glad that I did. It answered some questions for me. But I also found some verses during that time to help me kind of process this, and I'll share that with you. So two verses that you can meditate on or just read on your own is 2 Peter 2:4. For if God did not spare angels when they sinned, but cast them into hell and committed them to chains of gloomy darkness to be kept until the judgment. So one of that angel at the gate was referencing this verse. Okay. And then there's Jude chapter 1 verse 6, and it says, and the angels who do not stay within their own position of authority, but left their proper dwelling, he has kept in eternal chains under gloomy darkness until the judgment of that great day. So there it is. That's what I experienced. And that's what the angel was referencing. Now, I have been past that gate. I wrote about that too. I have been past that gate and actually saw the watchers in there. I saw Azazel and Shemyaza and some others in there. And it's a very gloomy place. And the chains, it was very interesting. It was like a binding. Kind of like a piercing and a binding. These fallen angels were not just bound, but they were pierced through. It was like their bondage was part of them. It wasn't a separate thing, which is very interesting. It wasn't a separate thing. It wasn't like chains around, the angelic body, the fallen angel's body, but it was these chains were part of them. It was like they merged with their physical appearance, and some of them were punctured through. It was very interesting, and maybe I'll talk about that another time. But the Bible's very real. Angels are very real. The story with the Watchers is a very real thing. Genesis chapter 6, I encourage you to watch it. Read it. I'm sorry. Read Genesis chapter 6. Watch it too. If the Lord takes you in the past and you see it, watch it. That's what he did with me. He took me into the past and I got to see those events. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, that's a real thing. And the emptiness and the darkness that was there. The best way I can I don't know if actually I can describe it other than it was void of the presence of God. It was void of love. It was void of destiny. It was void of purpose. It was void of meaning. I mean, to feel no wind and to have light, but the light doesn't actually shine. I mean, that's crazy. To see light and it not actually shine. Like I'm using a light so you can see my face. My face is glowing because there is a light shining on my face. But in this void, in this gloomy darkness or emptiness, the light didn't give off light. It was, it was strange. It didn't give off any light. So I just want to share that with you. When the angel references the father of demons, he's talking about the Watchers. When the Watchers intimately knew the women, and they produced giants, the Nephilim, and the Nephilim were killed, or after the flood, and or during the flood, a lot of them, and their spirits began to roam the earth, and they became the demons. So the angel's referencing the Watchers, the father of demons. Okay, it's not Satan. Okay. Satan isn't the father of demons. Okay, Satan is the father of lies, it talks about. Satan is the deceiver. Satan is the whisperer, Asatan, the whisperer. He's the accuser, but he's not the father of demons. Actually, the Watchers are, and the Watchers were responsible for the creation of demons. Fallen angels and human women were responsible for the creation of demons. So, anyway, I love the scriptures. And have a good time. Have a good day, and I will talk to you later.